How y'all doing? Good morning. I think it's still, yeah, good morning. Um, Amber Gordy, as she said. And yes, a little bit about that. So when I was in Mexico last year, I told myself, because I'm more of an introvert, I'm kind of stand off to the side, observe type woman. And, I said when I go to Mexico, I said, I'm going to I'm going to step out of my comfort zone and I'm going to try new things and I'm going to talk to some people, right? So when I got there, well, no, before I got there, they were saying we're going to jump into a cenote. And I said, well, what's that? Let me look it up. And I said, oh, I'm going to do that. Like, I am going to do that. So I got there, and it was time to jump, and they said it was fish in there. I said, fish? So I'm shaking. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not doing this. So I'm trying to turn back, and everybody, and I was saying my friend Crystal said she didn't bring her bathing suit. So I was like, that's my excuse. She doesn't have her bathing suit. I'm not going to go. She's not going. But I said, let me get up here and do it. And I jumped, and the thing about the jump was like the leap was exhilarating. So it was like that point where you felt like you were living. You weren't letting fear hold you back. You were actually trying new things. I think I was eating octopus and talking to people. And like I said, I'm usually, sometimes I have to have a little courage, liquid courage, as we say. I really got to know a few people. So I wrote something down that I kind of want to say first. And I put, don't let fear stop you from living. Hold on to that attitude that you're playing to win. Losing is not an option. You may hit bumps and may have to do some readjusting, but that's not losing. Giving up or not trying, that is what brings the failure. So I put that because Danisha said last night that if you talk to her long enough, she's going to pull things out of you and figure out where you might fit in and how. And that's what she did last year. And when she told me about speaking, I was like, no, I'm not. I laughed it off because I thought it was a joke till she showed up this year. And she's like, you ready? I'm like, so I'm writing, and I can tell. I told somebody that I was probably 3 or 4 times I talked myself out of this. I said, I'm not doing this. And again, that's when I realized fear, again, was holding me back. And it's like, well, the problem is the what ifs. That's what get to us. What if I fall when I go up there? What if I don't have on the right outfit? What if they're not connecting? Just all the what ifs in life. And that's what we become so stuck in the what ifs and in our mind. So we don't try new things. We don't meet new people. And that's what this conference is for. Because like she said, I was here in Atlanta. That was the first one. And because I'm in Georgia. So I went to the Atlanta one, and that's where I met Crystal, my friend, and Masika, and Masika's like a breath of fresh air, okay? Like, it's like when I met her, and I don't know if Tiana Harrison is in here right now, but her, and then, of course, Danisha, those 4 women have been so influential in my life and they don't even know how inspiring they have been, because being a quiet person and not trying new things, it's like I said, a breath of fresh air. Crystal kind of talked me into some things, like I wanted to start a business. But those what ifs kicked in. What if it fails? What if it's not as successful as this? What if it's not this? Or, and I talked to Crystal, and she has a very successful business with rhinestones, and she said, just try it. Why not? I mean, what if you succeed? What if it goes great? And I've actually done that with 2 businesses of mine on my own, and then me and my husband have some businesses. So I was like, okay, stepping out of my comfort zone, trying new things. And I can't, and the problem was comparison. I think 2 people said before I walked in here, these are your sisters. What you afraid of getting up there and saying? And I'm like, well, because, a lot of times what we do is we say sisters of the NFL, women of the NFL. But it's like, we get in that mindset like, I don't know her, that ain't my sister. I don't need no new friends. I'm sure we've all said that about some people. But the thing is that the connection, especially at these conferences, the connection that we all have something in common. And I know sometimes we hear like the infidelity in marriages, and no, not everybody's had that. Some of us have some really healthy, loving marriages, and that's fine. But what about the transition into the NFL? We all been there. Some of us, I myself, have transitioned out of the NFL, so we connect there. Sometimes it's loss of a loved one. You don't know who you can connect with until you talk to someone. And you don't have to, sit there and act like you just have it all together and you just always had it figured out, because we were all at some point not having it figured out. And with this conference, what I do encourage you to do is to remember that there's two type of women in this room. There's a woman, like how I was, and still am working on, that's kind of standoffish, a little quiet. I might say hi, I might walk up and talk to you, or be thinking about coming to talk to you. And then you also have a woman that is very social. She's got it. She's at the point to where she has it figured out. Maybe the business or whatever she's trying to do is at the level that she wants it to be. But what you have to remember is that you're giving gifts to share with the world. So let's say if it is a business, if you're successful, what about this young lady, your sister, who's trying it? Maybe if you see her over there, maybe reach out and say, hey, you know, what are you doing? What are you about? And you can figure it out. And then we're here to help each other. Because I think it was Crystal David, right, who said yesterday, and man, it was so relatable. That's why I said we can relate in all ways. She was saying the first NFL game, I didn't know what to wear. I was like, do you wear heels? You know, are we supposed to be dressed up? Can I just wear my tennis shoes and a jersey? Like, what do I have to have on? And what do I have to look like? Do I have to have my face beat, as everybody says? Like, what do I have to look like? And the problem is that we get so stuck in that, we forget all of us have been in that situation, and not necessarily not knowing what to wear, but just getting introduced to the NFL life, because we weren't always there. We were always there, and it's something different for us. And some of us have put our lives on hold for it. And we're still trying to figure it out even after the NFL. But you cannot do that unless unless you step out of your comfort zone, meet people, try new things. And like I said, it's not failure unless you haven't tried. So I'm gonna just tell you one more little story that I have about my what if. The reason I'm actually up here and even in a woman of the NFL, my husband, we met in college, and we were just friends, nothing more. Friends, we hung out in the same circle, so we were always seeing each other probably every day. And I moved down to Georgia in 2010, and didn't even know he was in the NFL. Like, after I left, I graduated before him. When I left, I didn't think nothing of him. I didn't think, you know, I had a couple friends, but so I didn't even know. And he called me. He said, I heard you in my home state. So I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, yeah, you know. He's like, well, I'm coming back from Green Bay, and in the off season, I'll be in Georgia. We should hang out. Now, you know those calls when your friends call you, say, let's go to this. Oh, yeah, girl, I'm going. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going, you know. And that's how it was. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then so he called, and he said, let's, you know, the NBA finals are going on. We should catch a game. So I'm like, okay. I was laying on the couch. I had already put out my mind I was not going anywhere. And he texts like, you still coming? And I'm like, do I answer it, or do I just act like I never got it? But something in me, I'm guessing God, something in me said, go ahead and go. Girl, put some clothes on, just go. You're not doing anything. And I went, and like from there, as you see, 12 years later, we are still going strong, have 2 kids, we're married. So I'm just thinking about if I had not done that, or if I had not went to the first conference, or if I had not agreed to step up here and say something, would any of this be happening? Would you have met the people that you've met? Would you feel how you feel, like you can do anything? Probably not. So if you do have what ifs in your mind that's stopping you and fear is stopping you, just let it go, because we've all been there. Some of us are still living in that. So I just feel like if you step out and just try it, you winning. You plan to win. So I don't really have too much more. I didn't really write nothing down, but I did want to say that. Thank you.